It is so different from the liberals and there's nothing art. How have you been treated? What do the liberals think about your work?
So it's funny because I was talking to Ermias about this a little bit.
Yeah.
So last year, I've been in New York not for too long, but I had 6 solo shows last year, and I won Artist of the Year, and I've been getting written by a lot of these magazines that have a good following for their art world. But we were all hanging out, and once they realized I had more of a conservative predilection, a lot of them they want to show distance from me. Yeah. And this is why I'm on the show, actually. Yeah. Because, this is a microcosm of what's happening with Gina Carano or Kanye West. Or it's the same idea where they say they're for diversity, but they don't tolerate the most important diversity, which is diversity of viewpoint. Yeah. So it's all a mask. So the moment I say, I'm using all the tools of the trade in regards to what we practice, but the moment they find out I have more of a conservative bend,
yeah.
I'm not like punching a elder or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying that I just don't like government.
Yeah.
But it's so strange because artists were all about being against the government.
Yeah.
But it's like switched. It's very strange. Yeah.
So how old are you?
I'm 30.
Have they tried to cancel you out, what they call cancel out? Have anyone gone after you to stop you and your work?
But I'm like this, like again, I'm being on it. I'm on it quickly. So I'm doing a cancel culture thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would say I was supposed to have some shows, and now there's like a pending conversation with one of the galleries already this year.
Man.
But it's okay. I mean, the thing is, I do believe that people in, the left really has culture down, but there's a lot of players in that same world that are on the right wing, side of the aisle, but they're just not vocal.
Yeah.
And that's really the problem, I think.
That's what you're right about that. And so, what do your parents think about your work when they look at it? What type of feedback you get from them?
I mean, they're like really old school sentiment.
Right.
So they don't like to get into anything deeply, which is actually refreshing.
Yeah, that's right.
I
know that.
So if I talk to my father, he'll just say, yeah, it's good. I'm glad you're doing well. And, my mom is actually really into art history. They're my parents. This is boring to talk about.
You did a painting here of Mother Mary, I believe?
Yeah, Virgin Mary.
Mary. So, like, you just walking down the road one day, you're like, did a rock fall from the sky? You decide, I want to do Virgin Mary. And it's so nice. How did you come up with that idea?
So I'll usually stack different, so there's 2 ways to make artwork that's, I guess what you'd call transcendental artwork or whatever. One way is the producing like the type of painting or sculpture, whichever medium, that's communication with the unconscious. And the other way is exploring the symbolic. And I'm more of a symbolic artist. Okay, and what I'm doing is, in that painting we have, different world renditions of the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
And then we have these guardian food dogs that are placed in front of temples. And, those little sculptures represent like guarding familial cohesion. That's the thing. That's why when families in Asia get those little lion, food dogs, they put them in front of their homes. Usually elders give it to their grandkids, actually. Oh. And when you put them together, it means to me like, society should guard, the mother and the child. That sort of idea.
Oh.
Yeah. They probably can't see that, but.
That's amazing. It's amazing. I like the colors, the way you blend it in. It's relaxing to look at.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff I look at, I'm like, everybody like, I've seen the other work.
Right.
And people are like, oh, it's so nice. And I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
I can't even figure out what, it doesn't even look like
I appreciate
anything.
that, Jesse.
So, this one, what's it,
Hypergamy.
Yeah, what's that mean and what is that?
Well, hypergamy is this idea that, that women are attracted to men from the top. They look from the top down. Men look at women from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what it means. A man will be like, she looks good, and then he'll ask, is she pleasant? Was she, all these things? And a woman will say, okay, he looks like he's got some money, or he has status. Now I might want to sleep with him. It's kind of the other way around, and that's why there's a lot of symbols of vanity in conjunction to some spiritual figures.
And so all of this is in your head?
I mean, here's the thing, though. I don't think it's right for artists to take credit for this stuff, because the language is already there throughout, hundreds of years of history.
Right.
You just sort of explore it and you realize it and you can put them together. And if they don't make sense, then your gut will pretty much tell you that. So
that's interesting, man.
Yeah.
So as you're sitting there drawing, right, are these different images and things just coming to you while you're painting?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not it's not like, divine intervention or anything like that. It's more of actually having the information in front of you and then excavating it.
Well, thank you for bringing me this.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's for you.
This is absolutely amazing, man. Thank you for signing as well.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
How long does it normally take you? Y'all got to get this, folks. Can people get this?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're out. I'm going to put up another order on my webpage. They can look it up from there.
So how long does it take you to do one painting?
It really depends on the scale. I would say, something. It depends on the complexity and scale, but it's funny because when it comes to the entertainment part of art, it's better to just see the finished product, because I'm not gonna. It's like watching paint dry for me to explain.
Yeah.
The actual process of painting it's almost like base reality is actually pretty boring.
Yeah.
So it's like you look at a Hollywood set. They're usually sitting around, acting is only a part of it. They do many sets, but then they put it together, and that's the thing, right? That's the final product of my painting. If I describe my painting, people might tune off.
What other style do you paint? I mean, is this it or?
Well, in order for me to have my own voice as an artist, I need to, I would say I'm sort of a fusion between an impressionist, like the Fauvist, and and elements of abstract expressionism. I sort of tie that together. So this is my voice as an artist.
And so this just comes to you naturally. It's like you can't see anything else to do about this.
Yeah, not really. I mean, maybe I would, in another life I would have done like weightlifting or jujitsu or something like that. But this is just all I do.
This is neat, man. I totally understand
friend.
that.
I appreciate it.
I noticed that the left, they are destroying artwork. They're just coming up with junk. And so when I saw this, I'm like, wow, there's hope out there. Are there other artists out there who's doing similar or trying to be serious about their art?
Not enough, but I will say we've been under the shadow of, Andy Warhol's postmodern art movement, and technically that generation is done. So there needs to be a new sort of voice, and we don't have a word for it, but something like post-romanticism or new romanticism, something of that is going to be the next trend, because you're right about that. The first person who in our history who really put a stamp on that was Marcel Duchamp, and people don't know that he was actually a failed artist. And out of that bitterment and anger and resentment, he signed a toilet, and he called it art. And people called it bold and daring. And it's been going.
He signed a toilet?
He signed a urinal, and he
they
flipped
called it art?
He called it the fountain.
Really?
Yeah, and it's but a lot of people they clapped for him, because a lot of people probably had that same energy they were carrying. But I think there's a lot of they're out there, but they're just not vocal.
Yeah.
And that's all it is to it. You just
because
gotta stand up.
They are afraid to be canceled, what they call canceled.
Yeah, I have a little cushion, but I mean it's. One of my advisors told me not to come here, Jesse.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I could be blacklisted or whatever, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a good base of collectors that are patriots, veterans. They're alpha males, some mixed martial art guys, and because of that, I mean, I would rather be in that domain anyways.
That's right.
I still want to work with galleries, but look, right now the biggest problem in our society is the polarization is getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And it's there's no logic behind it.